human trafficking is taking people against their will and forcing them to do tasks that they are not given any money for, nor do they want to do, right? And whether it's for sex, whether it's for a sweatshop making clothes or shoes, or whether it's just working in a factory or just being a servant, right? You're still having people do tasks that they normally wouldn't otherwise do, right? And they probably don't want to do. And even worse, I mean, equated to slavery, they're not paid for it, right? They're not receiving any kind of compensation for it really in any way. Of that city, and you can make them do work for free, right? So that idea is still there, but it was usually done with those who were stronger, and they just gave into the will of a collective group saying, okay, you're going to do this work, right, and beat them into mission. With Africans, for example, coming to America, you're taking them out of a familiar place, right, and you're taking them far away and putting them in a language where they can't speak. So even if they were able to figure out how to escape, what are they going to escape to? A world that they can't communicate in. So they're still kind of a slave in that sense as well, right? So with human trafficking, it's kind of the same idea. You don't human traffic someone to, the next town down the road. You put them on the other side of the world where they're completely out of their comfort zone, and that even if they did get away from the person that's holding them hostage, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Taking the strongest and the fittest, like we did with slavery, to do the manual work. Usually it's working in shops doing menial labor that doesn't require strength, right? Because now we're talking about people that are less fit, right? They're probably less able to fight back. But right now what we're dealing with is commonly smaller, lesser able people, women, children, right? And that's what's trafficked, not the strong anymore. They're actually attacking the weak, right? So it's not exactly the same as slavery, but it is the modern slavery. Getting a constant number for anything these days is the information is always skewed, right? And plus we have governments that know about it. And think about the people we have over, I think one of the stats is probably over 6 million people that are trafficked, right? That are under some kind of human trafficking, under modern slavery. Someone knows them. Someone knows where they're at. They're not reporting it, right? So why wouldn't we have a consistent number is really you have a lot of different governments that would have to work together, and nobody wants to admit that they have human trafficking happening within their nation, right? So to mitigate that number, the smaller it looks, the better you look as a nation, right? But even in America right now, probably in Utah, there are people held against their will that are being trafficked. This I know is a case of a young lady in Taiwan that she'd spent several years in, I believe it was California, before being reunited with her family. She was taken as a young girl. She was taken to California, didn't even know for a long time that wasn't her family. When she found out that she was actually taken against her will at a very young age, she really didn't cognitively remember. And she returned, when she found out who her family was, she returned back to Taiwan and reported it. That's like the first time I really had that hit anywhere close to home for me when I was living in Taiwan. Identifying them, I think it'd be difficult. They're not really going to be allowed to get out. You can't take them, let them be able to go free in the public eye, right? So typically they're going to be tucked away, locked away. They're not going to have any kind of freedom to roam about in the outside world. So identifying, I mean, if you're seeing a person, the chances are they're not, they've not been trafficked, right? I think psychologically afterwards, would you be able to identify people that have symptoms of being held against their will in like a hostage kind of situation? Yeah, there would be common symptoms of a person that you'd be able to see if they were able to get free or they were seeking treatment for the psychological, psychological problems that they probably had that occurred to them after being taken captive and trafficked. But really, I don't think you're going to walk down the street and say, well, that person's been trafficked. If you can see them on the street, the chances are probably not. They're free, right?